Hey guys.
Late night talks.
Yeah, we missed one day.
That's some new Metallica that we just listened to. Actually, it's called Atlas Rise. Atlas Rise. Ben, how do you pronounce it? Atlas Rise or Atlas?
I think it's
Rise.
Atlas, Rise.
Atlas, Rise. And an exclamation point.
With an exclamation point.
Yeah, Metallica's getting creative
Very
with
exciting.
their song titles.
Yeah.
Ben, you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, anybody who's listening. My name is Ben Shane.
What do you study here at COC?
Business Administration and Marketing.
All right. Ben and I go back to high school, actually. We met
Freshman year
of high school and pretty much went all the way through high school being friends. And now we're in our
Out of high school.
third year of college at COC together.
3 years.
And we just got back from taking a math test,
Which was terrible.
which was the worst thing ever, as most math tests are.
Most math tests.
So Ben's never done radio before.
Really?
He's brand new to the whole broadcasting thing.
Really nervous.
Are you really nervous?
I mean, I'm not like not nervous.
Right. Because usually you're really like open to talking to people and trying new things, I've noticed.
Yeah.
But something like this is a little off-putting on your very first time.
Out of the comfort zone. Never done it
Yeah.
before. Okay, so I mentioned this earlier, but hearing myself talk, like in my ear, is the craziest thing because I have like a really annoying voice, I've noticed. So
Dude, I'm right there with you.
I mean, I've never heard somebody not say that about their own voice when they hear it for the first time, though. Everybody's just naturally insecure like
I
that.
guess that's kind of comforting.
Basically, Josh and I just kind of made this show out of the blue. It all kind of came together one night when we were both here around 7 o'clock at night on a Tuesday, and we were just both like, hey, let's make a show.
Really?
And so now
Yeah.
ever since, we've been doing these late night talks every Tuesday, and what a late night talk consists of is interviewing one person. We have one guest each week, and we go pretty in depth with their life.
We learned a lot.
We've-
Except for one, but
That's fair to say. Yeah, Sal didn't want to divulge too
Wait,
much.
Sal
but
the director?
Sal
Yeah, Sal the director.
didn't want to give too much away about himself.
Right. I've heard rumors.
yeah.
So, but we had Brissetta, and she blabbed about way more
Love
than I-
life.
Yeah, and Skylar went. Skylar's an
He went
interesting
ham on
fellow.
acting.
Yeah,
Did not like acting?
and
No,
well,
he enjoys
Enjoys
acting.
Okay.
my favorite part of that episode was when he started talking about his schizophrenia and,
Oh,
his,
yeah.
and his anxiety, and most people probably don't know that about him, but
I certainly didn't.
the dude is interesting. Ben,
Not nearly.
there's
as
a
interesting.
lot of interesting things about you, but what strikes you as particularly interesting right now to me is that you're going through a breakup right now. You're coming out of how long was this relationship?
It would have been a year on the 18th.
1 year
One
on
year.
the 18th of November.
Yeah.
You've been with this girl for nearly a year, and you guys just broke it off as of
Maybe like a week or so ago.
a week or so ago.
Yeah.
So, how's it going, dude? How you keeping up?
If I'm being honest, for the first few days, it was pretty hard. Like, I'm assuming most first breakups are. Mm-hmm. And then, because she was my longest relationship by far. I've never really been able to kind of sustain that. But about 4 or 5 days in, I tried doing the whole cut ties thing, and I had my stuff at her house. She had her stuff at my house. And, one thing led to another, and now we may or may not have mended.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is new information
New
to me.
information, yeah.
I once the breakup started, my advice to you was cut contact.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of just the way to go about these things.
Correct.
It's easier to heal once the contact has been cut. Now I'm hearing, and you're already you're showing the signs of, oh my gosh, he's asking me this crap.
No, I'm just, yeah.
Okay, you're talking again. Are you guys reconciled, or are you just talking again?
No, I mean, so for the first few days, I think we've met a total of 3 or 4 times since the breakup. And the first 2 or 3 times, it was mainly like me telling her, because we've had issues, for the past few months and so on, and, just regular couple stuff, and it just kind of built up over time to where I was kind of, at my breaking point and so on. And then the first and second like meeting was just kind of like me explaining to her that, and then I've from there on, because she broke up with me originally, right? And I was like, okay, so we're like done being together because she's broken up with me before. This is like the final straw. And then the third or fourth time we got together, I was like, all right, I'm sorry it didn't work out. Obviously.
These 3 times have been within about the last week or so.
Yeah. So they were maybe a few days apart, and then she texted me, and she was like pretending like everything was okay, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure like we're still broken up. And then to clarify, I kind of half took Austin's advice. He was like, cut ties. He said cut ties, but the thing is that he said, for one last, meeting.
Hurrah.
Yeah, hurrah, I guess you could say, was to get your stuff from her house that you wanted. And I was like, all right. So I just figured that we would meet up, and then we would kind of go from there and finish it off and, like, do whatever we had to do, like delete contacts, etc.
Right. And the thing that struck me as interesting in that last bout you just had there, you said she's broken up with you before.
Correct.
Have you ever broken up with her?
No.
How many times has she broken up with you?
I don't know, probably like 6.
6
Holy
times in the past year.
Yeah.
Austin, this goes back to our first interview with Briseda.
Our friend Bree had an on and off thing with this guy that she had been seeing for a while.
Right.
I don't know if your case is exactly parallel with Bree's case.
Yeah,
obviously everybody's different. I just think it's fascinating that a chick can break up with you 6 times and you're still, you're still chugging
Whipped.
along.
Yeah.
Whipped. Do you think you're whipped?
I mean, okay, so I've, been.
What
widely
defines
known-
whip?
Yeah, I would agree with Josh on that one, because whipped is different. It's relative to each person, but to be more specific, my friends, I have like a total of like 4 friends, and I think like my dad is one of those. So not a big circle there, but to the people that are my friends, they've all noticed that I've always had kind of a lower self-esteem than most people. And I think that ties back to like where I'm at now, to where I've been in this relationship for so long that it's kind of become like normal to me almost. And
In other words, you're afraid, since you only have these small amount of friends, you're afraid that losing one of those people is...
Well, yes and no. So yes, losing a friend would suck, because she obviously has been a good friend of mine, and my voice just got really loud for a second there. So, losing her would be devastating in more ways than just one, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, like because she always breaks up with me, and then she's usually the one to either pretend like nothing happened or to reconcile. Like, she's the one to bring it up, like, oh, I was just kidding, huh? But this time, she was like in tears in our last meeting.
So what goes through your mind when she breaks up with you during these 6 times?
Each and every time, it's been the last time. I'll tell you that. I tell myself, it's like, it's never going to happen again, and then it happens again. So, I don't know.
Is it like the same thought? Like, oh my gosh, she's leaving me, my life is over.
Oh, no,
kind of thing?
No. It's not that.
Do you halfway know, like, it's not really over?
No, it's not. It's actually not that at all. It's like, when she breaks up with me, I'm like, fuck, this chick is crazy. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm glad that it's over. And it's like a big sigh of relief for like a few days, and then, because their breakups usually don't last very long, or they haven't at least. And then the next couple of days is obviously, sadness and feeling alone and stuff, and then hanging out with friends, and kind of like you gave me a good tip, bury yourself in like media, binge watch a show on Netflix or something like that.
And you go to the gym a lot, which is great for breakups.
I do go to the gym, obviously.
Now, is
Not
it
that
normal to go to the gym after a breakup?
I think it's a healthy thing.
Exercise,
I think that's a healthy way to blow off
Because
steam.
I go to the gym all the times, and
All the times?
all the time,
Every single of the times?
all
of them?
Yes, all
All
the
of the
time.
time.
That's pretty frequent.
Yeah, and
Why aren't you there now? This is one of those times.
Josh is
I'm
a
here.
bodybuilder, apparently.
doing this. That's. But I mean, like,
So most of the time.
most of the times.
Most of the times.
Most of the time.
Yes,
All of the most of the
all
times.
the most of the times. But I mean,
Clarify that.
I find it weird that after a breakup that it's straight to the gym. Like, is it one of those things where you're trying to be on the rebound, or
No, like maybe it's working out aggression that you may have, like pent up over time, and you just want to like take it out on something heavy, or run a mile to clear your head, and you don't want to like run out in the open because you can get like raped or something.
You're right.
Because we're all very attractive men in here.
So, in my experience, with my breakup and with friends' breakups that I've observed, it's some people choose the route of I'm gonna go kind of self-destruct in a way.
some people play video games.
They start to drink. Well,
some people go to
don't.
the gym.
Some people don't do something healthy like bury themselves in a video game. They'll choose alcohol. They'll choose to go out and meet a bunch of new people.
And even still, burying yourself in a video game, I found, because we have a couple friends that are like that they'll just, do nothing but video games, which also isn't that healthy.
Most people don't do that, though. I think most people are naturally depressed when they're out of a breakup, and when you're depressed, you can do some things that are out of your typical character.
Yeah.
And so going to a video game and during that time, I think is healthier than what some people might do, which is go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Drugs, alcohol.
Things like
you
that.
mentioned rebounding,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would agree. I've heard therapists say that rebounding isn't exactly healthy after a long-term relationship ends.
That I know for sure.
Because your mom's a therapist.
Yes. Yes,
Mom's
she
a
is.
therapist.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So have you been like therapized your entire life?
Yes.
Oh. How
Yeah.
does that make you feel?
He gets that enough. He gets that enough with his mom at home, the
Yeah,
therapist.
man.
I'm just kidding, Josh.
She's probably listening right now.
I'm actually really curious about your breakup, though, because, well, now I'm even more curious. That was like another step to this whole thing. You guys are
Yeah.
Did you say reconciled?
Yeah,
Are you back together?
So, yeah, we're technically back together. I mean, I'm kind of... This last time that we broke up kind of, had a more of an effect on me, I think, than the past few times. Like, it was more serious.
I could tell.
Yeah, and I actually thought everything was done, and being one of the people that I hang out with relatively frequently, you probably noticed a few different, like,
You
behavioral
seem
changes.
different lately than you have been in the previous year of the relationship.
Yeah. Well, no, I would agree with you with that.
Although
And
I'll
then-
say that this relationship seems to get you down from time to time, even when you guys are doing just fine.
Yeah, well, it's just because I think about it, and now it's like this is definitely a possibility that she's just gonna end. She's gonna go, and have one of her episodes, or maybe I start something and then she has an episode, and then it goes out of control.
In other words, an episode is usually something that ends in a breakup.
Yeah, something like that, or like at least something to provoke a breakup. Like she might just like go off ranting and intentionally try to hurt me with words and whatnot, and maybe even stuff like she's thrown a couple punches before.
These are physical punches.
Yeah, physical punches.
She's hit you.
I'm an abused boyfriend, physically and emotionally. But
What do? Do you block it? Do you,
yeah, well,
what
I
do
just
you
kind of
do?
wear it. She's like 4'11". It's not really
So
not
you
much
just
weight
absorb
behind
that like nothing.
it. Yeah, well, I'm also very, very strong, so abs of steel and whatnot.
Gotcha.
But basically,
For those of you who can't see, or maybe you saw it on our Instagram account, the picture that we just tweeted out. Ben's a good-looking guy.
I'm not sure how that is relative to my abs of steel, which I also have. But anyways,
I'd say there's a correlation between good-looking guy and abs of steel.
Okay.
Well, Ben, you even said it yourself. Maybe you're just afraid of being alone. Maybe this isn't the healthiest relationship. So why am I just hearing now that you guys are back together when you are aware of all this stuff?
Yeah, well, it happened like 2 days ago, and I've been kind of like on my toes about it. I would say it's kind of like a trial, in a way, where like I'm trying to see if she's just gonna be on her best behavior for a few weeks or a month or a few months, or if she's just gonna, say she'll change and then not.
You know what this sounds like to me, Josh? This sounds like an excuse.
It is an excuse.
Excuse for what?
It sounds like an excuse to stay together with this girl. Oh, I'm just going to give her a
She is-
chance. I'm
well-
just going to play the field. Even though this is number 7 in the breakup department, you're just going to be like, oh, I'm going to feel this one out. Maybe this one's different.
Well, I've come to terms with the fact that this will be, and I know I've said this before, so it may not be believable, but this will be the last time. Like I can't, the tugging on the heartstrings. And,
You know what I want you to do, Ben? I want you to go and break up with her.
Do you?
I think you should get all your stuff. I think you should do it now. I think you should get all your stuff out of her house.
Well, guys,
Or should
this is gonna be a very short episode
Why is that?
because he's gonna be breaking up with his girl.
because he's about to head out the door and bring up his girlfriend.
Wait a second.
I think this is what you need to do. I think you should go to your house, go to her house, get your stuff that you need, and break up with her, and never look back.
And never look back.
Never look back.
See, I feel like that's easier said than done.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Breakups are so hard. I can't stress that enough.
Okay, so I've never broken up with somebody before. I've always been the dump-ee, not the dumper. I'm not sure if that's had a psychological effect on me over the years, but when it comes to like a girl crying, like she was our last meeting, I couldn't take it. It was just like, all right, this is obviously she cares to a point where she would have to be bawling, you know. Maybe she's realized what she's done or whatever, but it's like I can't just like walk up to her house and be like, sorry, this isn't working.
I mean, but it's not a healthy relationship, it sounds like. It sounds like you're in pain. It sounds like, I don't know her that well, but she can't be happy with this relationship all the time if she's broken up with you 6 times. You know,
She uses the excuse that couples fight. You know?
couples fight, sure, but I think
But they don't
your
go to a
situation's
point
little-
to break up.
Yeah, I think your situation's a little more excessive than just simply couples fight.
I found that, and this whole conversation, by the way, all to our many viewers that are out there, is all pretty one-sided, I would say, from my point of view. So, you know, if you met her, you can ask her, and she might say something different, but
I think that's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to get
we'll
both
not
of you
do
guys
that.
on
We'll
here.
Will
not.
she come on here
She
next
absolutely
week?
will not,
Why not?
because that would be awkward as hell.
Make it happen, please.
I'll work on it.
All right.
Anyways,
We shall
she
see.
I found is a very immature person, and I think that, you know, because of my childhood and my upbringing and stuff, being like, you know, from a single parent home and no dad being around, I kind of had to take the role of like a father figure for my little sister and whatnot. So I kind of matured quicker than I think some people our age might. And I think she's like still acting kind of like a 20-year-old when it comes to like the emotional part of a relationship.
Are you trying to fix her?
I don't know if fixing is the right way to say it. I think I'm trying to like help her mature.
You're the guy with the therapist in your family. Is he trying to
Yes,
fix?
please
Is
help.
he trying to fix her?
Please help.
Just a little bit.
Am I?
I can. Yeah, you're going through like I can't. I don't really know the terms.
All I know, Ben, is I look at your situation and it seems unhealthy to me, and I know breakups are hard and there will be tears shed, and I think that's what has to happen in order for you to move on with your life.
That's probably the right thing to do.
And you and I have had this conversation before, and it always goes this way.
It does.
And then it always happens a couple days later. Yeah, we've kind of started talking again.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I was actually, because I think we had stopped talking for, I don't know, like maybe like 10 days. You know, it's like the longest sabbatical we've taken. I was actually towards the end less miserable than towards the beginning. I was actually, you know, starting to flirt around a bit, and it felt good.
Less miserable isn't a good word.
It's not a good word. It's the best way I could describe it. You know, I've always been
Relationships are supposed to be about happiness and growing as people and whatnot.
Right.
Gosh, we need Josh's mom in on this conversation so that she can
She wants to get
define a
paid
healthy
for
relationship. I'm not a therapist. I don't know, man. Listen, one thing that happened when I was with you at lunch one day, and it completely threw me off. You and I were at Burrito Factory here in, I don't know, it's in Santa Clarita. And-
Somewhere out here.
And she texts you saying, what did she say?
I remember this.
You don't remember this?
I do remember
Oh, okay.
this.
What did she
Yeah.
say? What did she text you?
I think she said, because
You guys weren't talking. She initiated a conversation with this text.
correct, we're not in the middle of a conversation. This is actually one of the times that she had broken up with me. I think, you know,
Probably.
like maybe like the day before or something.
So you and I
She
were
was-
at lunch, and then you get this text.
Correct. It said, "Are we allowed to be like explicit?" Or because it said, I believe it
Josh,
said,
can we be explicit?
You can say it without being explicit type. If you, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got you. All right. So it said, have fun having homosexual relations with Austin. You know, something to
Wow.
that effect.
Okay, and
you know?
how did she...
Wow.
Basically, she looked on an app. Is this correct?
Yeah, there's...
So let me make sure I say this correctly. You guys, and I know you don't want me to bring this up, but this is the truth of your relationship, and you need to realize that this is nuts.
Yeah.
You guys have an app where you can track each other at all times of the day. Am I on the money there? Is that
Yeah,
accurate?
you can... Well, there's an app called Find Friends that...
Well, I have
Spy
that.
Apple.
Yeah,
Apple.
that's an Apple product. I use that with my family and a couple of my friends. So.
Yeah, so most people do that.
Most.
But she uses it to, like... It's not necessarily... I guess it is, you know, now that I'm talking about it out loud and not just in my head. She uses it to find out, like, where I'm at when we're not talking.
Because she's afraid you're going to cheat on her.
But no, I
But
really...
you guys aren't talking per se, because if you guys were broken up,
Right. No, I had actually
technically that's
turned
not
off
cheating.
my location at that particular time. You know, this last most recent one. But at that time, we weren't like... I was like, oh, this is just a fight. And then she just... Because she's kind of person to throw, like, a temper tantrum, you know? Like, she says a bunch of things, and she won't take them back. She's like a 4-year-old, and then the next day she's like, can I have a popsicle again? You know? Like, she just wants to be forgiven, and, like, nothing happened kind of thing. So, but yeah, this particular scenario, we were at lunch, and I was actually explaining to Austin, I was like, wow, this girl's kind of crazy.
We were having this exact conversation,
Yeah,
except this was probably on breakup 3 or 4.
Yeah, exact conversation. I think they're almost identical from time to time, you know? But yeah, didn't listen again, and now here we are, still having the same conversation. So
did you learn anything from this?
No, I don't think I did. I mean, I'm right back where I was before. I like to think that I did, but if I'm being honest with myself, probably not.
We're doing this today, Ben, so that I can send you the link to this radio cast.
Oh, God.
Whenever this happens. For breakup number 7 and 8 and 9, I'm going to send you this exact episode
I'll
of
just
Late
listen to
Night
it
Talks.
over again.
Just so you can... That way, I don't even need to be there anymore. We just have this on demand, basically.
Listen, I don't know if her and I are, like, meant to be, and I know that, like...
I don't think you are.
You don't think
I
we are,
yeah.
obviously.
I'm
Josh
just
doesn't.
I'm gonna just take a wild guess, Ben, and say that you're not gonna marry this chick.
No.
Yeah. Well, no, you're probably right. And, you know, in saying that, what's the point if you don't have those kind of intentions almost? You know, I know we're just like...
I would say, what's the point if you're not enjoying it?
Yeah.
That's another good point. As of right now, day 2 of our, you know... Reconciliation. I'm not like super upset. I'm not like stoked about it because I'm still kind of, you know, like, oh, what if?
So how does one of these reconciliations come about? Is this in person or is this over text?
Yeah, so most of the time they're like I remember this one.
Because the breakup was over text,
correct. She always breaks up with me over text.
and the reconciliation is in person.
Always in person.
And I imagine those are a lot more pleasant than the text breakups.
Not really, because she's like always crying. You know, she's always like, "I'm sorry, I yelled at you. Please forgive me." And then I'm like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, you're obviously sorry. And you're not gonna do it again." And then she does it again, and then it's a whole thing.
I mean, sometimes people don't really mean what they say in text.
Right, but here's the thing: the things she says are like intent. So she wrote me she wrote me like a 5-page letter, or 5 pages back to back, so like 10 pages, kind of explaining how her previous relationships were, or relationship was, because she's only had like one, and she kind of explains that she was always thought of as immature and the young one because her boyfriend was a few years older than her before, and she explained that her voice wasn't heard or whatever. And now, in our relationship, she said that she feels like if she's not extra loud, that I'm going to, like, go back into that. And I kind of explained to her, I'm like, listen, this is a completely different dude. You know, I'm sure the people listening have turned it off by now because this is such an annoying story to tell. But
maybe there's people in the same situation as you are, and they're looking to hear a story. I mean, you never know, dude. I'm sure you're not the only person who's in a situation like this.
well, I would hope not, because that would be even more depressing. being the only person stupid enough to do this 7 times.
And I mean, if our viewers are listening and they are in that situation, they can always feel free to send us a chat. I'm right here looking at the screen, and
Yeah,
it's
tweet
lonely
at
out
us.
here.
Send us a message on Instagram, Facebook.
Twitter, Spreaker.
Let us know how much of a
Any-
dumbass Ben is.
Yeah.
I agree. No, but like all in all, she's a good person. Like at her heart, she embodies the crazy Latina woman to a T. You know, I'm addicted to Latinas, and I'm not afraid to admit it. But it's like,
Aren't we all?
it's a lot, you know? Like, it's so many pros. But there's also like a million cons. So
Yeah.
you just gotta find one that's. I found that you gotta find one that will like or love whatever you're looking for. You for you without asking you to change.
You guys have a good sex life.
Not as well as so I've been around here and there, and she's actually not like amazing. She's a great person and she means well, but she's not. I think every guy kind of has this like fantasy, like because we all grew up, you know, kind of watching pornography and whatnot. Got these images in our heads of like how great sex should be, and I think a lot of us get our hopes up like way too high because in reality it's like pretty boring to an extent. I mean, it's obviously always great because you're not just gonna like have a bad, you know, because
Right, you're not going to be with somebody and then just, you know, this
yeah.
is terrible.
Okay.
Like,
yeah,
You're not gonna keep retarded.
this is
Why am I here?
ridiculous, and just leave. No, so she tries hard, but it's the thing is that she's not into the same stuff I'm into, so I kind of have to take one for the team and just stick to like the same 3 positions. I'm not sure if we're actually supposed to be talking about this, but
I don't see anything wrong with this.
I think this is more interesting than my
Yeah,
relationship.
I mean, this isn't, we're just talking.
Yeah.
This isn't
Probably have to
What about-
mark it explicit, pretty much.
Yeah, okay. So what about... Okay, so Austin,
Yeah,
question.
sure.
You went through a similar situation with your breakup, right?
That's correct.
And
Well,
you-
no. I don't want to say that we had
Oh,
an
not
unhealthy relationship.
Right, okay.
Because I enjoyed that relationship, and then when it was time for it to come to an end, it came to an end.
Much more straightforward than obviously I am with my relationship in my situation. But going back to like the whole sex life thing, do you think that kind of tied into why yours came to an end, or
No, the reason mine came to an end was because I was going to college and she was in high school. I pretty much blame it on that.
So you were one of those seniors dating a junior type person.
Yeah, exactly. We
I see.
basically, you know, I went off to another school, and then by that point, it was hard to, you know, see her as often as you need to in a relationship, and it gets a little fuzzy, and then you start to establish a new life at a new school. She still has her life at the one school, and you just, I don't know, I felt like it grew apart, so it had to come to an end. That's basically it.
I think Josh is wondering how your sex life was. I think that's what.
No.
Yeah, I think that's what he was wondering.
I mean, with the relationship, no complaints.
What?
No complaints. You're wondering about the sex
Yeah,
life.
in the
Oh.
relationship, yeah.
Yeah, no complaints.
I was confused at that answer. Okay.
That's why there was a minute of like, wait, what's going on?
I'm sorry.
I'm lost.
Sorry if I was not clear.
No, it's okay. We forgive you.
Yeah.
Well,
This is your show.
hey man, you know, I don't want to come on here and just like say, "Oh my gosh, look at this messed up situation and here's what I think about Ben," and put you on blast. I want you to learn from this, and I want you to realize, look, man, this ain't the healthiest thing, and I care about you, and I want you to be happy, and that's my main reasoning here. You know, all you want, but the fact of the matter is, it's true. You know, things like this really hamper your ability to live a happy and healthy life, and that's why I think it's come to an end. I'm worried about you in a way.
Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate that. And I've actually, you know, from every single person, like literally every single person that I've ever told about my situation agrees with you. I don't know. It's just like I'm a different person.
Quit letting this girl break up with you, you know, and just go
Grow
to
a pair of
her.
balls.
I'm not going to say that because I know it's hard. But go there and do the breaking up yourself, and don't look back, and then you'll know that, you walked away from this thing when you had to, and you enjoyed your first relationship, and that's that. Just my 2 cents.
Hey, it's a good 2 cents.
Ben is speechless right now.
I'm usually pretty speechless at the end of these conversations. It's just like, it's depressing how accurate, someone's advice can be, and like how relevant it can be to your life specifically. And it's like, just looking from like a third party perspective, I can tell. Like if you were in my position and I was in yours, I would be probably saying the same thing, and like, wow, like why isn't he listening to me? He would probably be much happier if he was outside of this situation, and that's like obvious to me. Like I can see that, but being in it, like you mentioned, is a whole different animal. And I think I don't know, I might just let this play out where it's at, and then at the first sign of, I don't know, relapsing, I guess, then I'll probably just finish off then. But
I think you'll grow a lot as a person if you get through this breakup. I think I think when you come out on the other side of the breakup, I think you'll be really happy with the choice you made, and you'll be really happy with yourself. It's really important because it doesn't seem like you're very happy with yourself too often. You mentioned the low self-esteem. And
yeah. Well, I mean,
that.
it's,
Self-worth, I think doing something like that builds self-worth.
I mean, all in all, it just, you have to reflect on everything and make sure you're looking at the bigger picture type thing. So if you're looking at the small picture and you're trying to change the small picture, you're not going to really change the big picture.
Right.
So
Start looking at the medium-sized pictures.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, how are your studies going? How's your life going?
Oh, wow.
You have the work, school
we'll
grind.
actually save that for the next segment. We're gonna take a little break.
Oh, are we gonna take a break?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this. Let me get my break music ready.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm down to take a break, but the thing is with breaks is that you need to play music typically during a break.
He wasn't prepared.
You weren't
And that
prepared.
requires me
He wasn't prepared
to
at all.
go ahead and pull up some music to play
For those of you who don't
during
know,
said break.
Soon
those-
we'll have our own
Eventually,
little
at one
DJ
point,
for this.
we'll probably have a DJ.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Austin and me as well are kind of like metalheads to an extent. And
If they've listened to my shows, then they are aware.
They
of
know.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if he's told you, but Metallica's album is coming out on November 18th, I believe.
Something like that.
November 18th
Wait, that's the
is
same
the
day.
anniversary of mine.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm not sure.
so that's the perfect day to break it off.
Yeah. So you have a music to fall back on.
There you go.
There we go.
Anyways, what we got? We got Form Chief.
I
What
don't
we
know.
got?
Let's play some Metallica for them from said new album. This is Hardwired.
Ooh, it's a good song. Wait for it.
Well,
Hey, guys.
so basically, you told me that you were going to start going to a counselor.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Did that happen today?
Didn't happen. I completely forgot that we had a math test today that I needed to both do the homework for, which I didn't do because I'm a slacker, and study for, which I also didn't do because I'm a slacker.
Dude, I'm like that in English.
I don't actually.
I don't
Not to
like
toot
English.
my own horn, but I can write an essay in like 30 minutes.
He's pretty good at BSing an essay. I've seen it first.
All right, I'm going to give you all my essays then, and you can give me all your math.
You're good at math?
Yeah,
Is he?
I don't know.
I am.
Are you?
I am.
Are you good at
Okay.
statistics?
Yes.
If you
Math?
I aced
if
it.
you're lying to me, I swear to God,
I
Josh.
took statistics 75 and 140, and I aced both of them.
What?
Yeah.
Why are we just
we
hearing
just
about
came
this
back
now?
from we just agonized over a
God
140
damn it,
test.
Josh.
just now.
Really?
Yeah.
That was terrible.
It was awful.
Well, I mean, the math here, I took it in PAL, which was the 75.
Yeah,
That's smart.
75.
I wish I'd done that.
back to back. I was going to do that
But-
my first year. Then it was like not for me.
I
For
did
those
that
not
my
familiar
first
with PAL,
semester.
this is when you can take both the 75 statistics course and the 140 statistics course all in one semester and get
At
credit for both.
College of the Canyons.
At
Same thing with
COC.
English. Actually, you can do 91
Yeah.
and like 101.
See, I tried to do that with English.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
No.
English has always been easier for me because I'm good at, like Austin said, kind of just bullshitting through stuff because I have a decently sized vocabulary. But when it comes down to it, math is like, I feel like a lot of people's kryptonite. But for me specifically, if I try and like do math for too long, I just get a headache. It hurts. Math hurts.
No.
You know what?
Spread
Math
awareness.
does hurt.
Spread
I
awareness.
don't know if I'm a big fan. You know, we had 75, and that was pretty easy, obviously. 'Cause it's the easy class.
Well, yeah, that
It's
and we had
easy
Rupa.
statistics.
Yeah. I don't know.
We had
This one's
Rupa.
no fun. I just want to give an update on the World Series game right now.
Oh, please do. It's still
Please.
7-0, right?
It's 7-2.
Oh,
Who's playing?
We're inning. It's who's playing?
wait a
Get
second.
out of here.
It's the World
Good
Series,
thing.
Josh.
We're not even
Good
going to
thing.
tell you. We're going to make you look it up yourself. It's the C
Is it-
team
is it-
versus the C team.
It's Cubs and someone else. That's all I can remember.
Well, it's Cubs and another C team. So how many C teams are
Well,
there?
the Cubs have 7, and the Indians have 2.
Indians. That's who it was.
And
It is Indians.
I don't know. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for today. Louis just came in.
Hey,
What's going on,
Louis.
man?
You want to?
Hey, Louis.
He's coming. He's trying to be quiet. He's telling us to wrap it up. Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
rolling.
we're rolling.
No, we're rolling, yeah.
You don't need to
Yeah,
be quiet
you
either.
don't
It's
need to be
okay.
quiet, yeah.
We're acknowledging that you're here. He said, "What's up?" And I'm saying nothing much. You?
The Jack Oakey thing. Are you going to mention that?
I'm not mention what?
The Jack
Oh,
Oakey
yeah.
Man, get on a microphone. What do you think this is?
Yeah. There's a free mic open right over there.
Jeez,
Is it up?
Damn
Yeah,
it,
it's
Louis.
up.
trying to run a damn show here. You're over
Hey
here.
guys, how you doing?
Doing good.
So there's a Jack Oakey scholarship that they're doing today. $12,000 being dispersed into students in $1,000 scholarships for film students.
Yeah, I actually
Now.
pulled Josh out of this so that he could come record our show.
Yes.
I think that they ended the movie already, so I should probably go back in there.
Yeah.
Bye,
All
guys.
right.
I probably should do that too.
No, I understand. I don't want to take $1,000 away from you guys. I just want to mention that coming up this Thursday, November the 3rd, Sammy and I and Josh will be here. We'll be interviewing Ty Brown. Ty Brown has an interesting story because I believe he's a football player at Golden Valley High School
Okay.
right now. He's a senior.
Okay.
What's interesting about him, he has a 2-year-old son. He's going to be live in studio.
Wait
with us.
a minute.
He has a 2-year-old son, and he balances fatherhood, school, and football.
Football.
He's a senior in high school
Correct.
right now.
Correct.
With a 2-year-old son.
With a 2-year-old son.
A living 2-year-old son?
With a living 2-year-old son, and he found a sitter for
Sophomore.
the son today so that he can come down and meet us and talk to us on Thursday
Sophomore's
night.
what, like 14, 15?
He's 17, I believe, right now, so he probably had the kid when he was
15.
around 15.
Okay.
So sophomore year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that had to be sophomore year.
Yeah.
So
for him.
Wow.
Ty Brown will be in here 7:30 p.m. November 3rd here on Canyons Radio. After that, Cougar News will be live for the November for the 2016 election. That'll be on November 8th.
Oh, that's gonna be exciting.
We'll be simulcasting that.
Yeah, that'll be Cougar News broadcasting on cougarnews.com, scvtv.com, and we'll be broadcasting audio live on
Which I'll be
canyonsradio.com.
listening to.
Austin Westfall, myself, and Kimberly Pressler will be anchoring. I believe that's going to be like a 2 or 3 hour show. Local politics, national politics, the whole shebang. We'll have live interviews, whatnot. That's coming
Who
up
are,
on November 8th.
Who are you voting for, Austin?
I don't get into personal politics on this show. I like to keep it fun.
Like you fun.
Politics
so
aren't that
you
fun.
have a not fun outlook on politics.
This is
what I'm getting.
not.
I think there's a fun way to discuss politics. There's a fun way to discuss politics, but it involves us prepping for it before the show. It's not spur of the moment politics talk. I don't know.
What about you, Josh?
I just find politics to be tedious at this point.
I'm just not Trump or Hillary. That's about it.
Okay.
That's all you got to know. And our viewers.
Alrighty.
Coming up on that following Tuesday, that'll be November the 15th, we're going to have Matt Wig. He's going to be our guest on that week's Late Night Talks. Late Night Talks is canceled next week because of the election show. The following week, Matt Wig will be here. What's interesting about Matt Wig, you might ask? We found out yesterday on the Austin and Sammy show that Matt hasn't had his first kiss yet.
Wow.
What?
How old is Matt?
I think I got to go listen to that on canyonsradio.com.
So Matt, I don't know how
That
old Matt-
plug-in.
He's got it. He's like 19, he's 19 or 20, right? He's our age,
Yeah, around there.
He's got.
No, I think he's older than us.
maybe. This is all things we can discuss in 2 weeks right here on Canyons Radio, November 15th. Matt Wig in
This is
studio.
going to be interesting and fun.
So thank you for joining us for another Late Night Talk. Ben, I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
Best to you in your situation.
Thanks.
I mean it, man. And Josh, of course, I hope you go and win your $1,000 now.
Yeah, I got to go write this essay, guys. So
All right.
with that,
We're going to play you out with some more Metallica. Have a good night, everybody.